continue to thrive in wisdom, compassion, and peace for generations to come. As I sat and listened to your worship, while I did not understand the words, I could feel the Spirit. And I have been asked to share with you a blessing from our own Jewish tradition, which I will do, and then I will translate for you. It's very short, but for us very meaningful and very powerful. This blessing is reserved only for those most special times of years where we are filled with joy and we come together with new purpose for the very first time. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu v'kiyemanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. In translation, may the one who created us all be the recipient of our thanks and our gratitude for bringing us together, all of us, each and every person here in this sacred space, so that we could be here to celebrate this joyous moment as one. Thank you again for all that you do. It is our privilege to be your partners and your neighbors. And as we say in our tradition, Mazal Tov. Congratulations on your 40th anniversary.
Thank you very much, Rabbi. Now we'll have Harvinder Virji come and say a few words about Guru Gobind Singh Foundation, where we started and where we're hopefully heading.
Satsangat ji, Waheguru ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru ji ki Fateh. So I'm going to talk mainly in English because I want to sort of share who we are and our mission and, what are our goals with our neighbors, with our, our guests here as well. So my association with GGSF started when I used to come from New York where I was doing my residency and to visit my brother, and then we would come to the Gurudwara here. But then finally, when we moved here in 2005, that's when actually the Gurudwara building was made as well. But GGSF as an organization started, even 10 years before I got to know GGSF in 1985. And its mission that it has always been to enhance the participation of the Sikhs into the mainstream. Serve the needy, and also train our youth to become constructive leaders in this society, in our new homeland here. It has consistently worked to build bridges with other communities and participate in interfaith understanding, as you could see today, when we have all the interfaith leaders here. Through this Interfaith Council of Metropolitan Washington since 1987. We have invited some of the prominent leaders of other faiths to this Gurudwara Sahib and built strong relationships with the political leadership of this state and this country. From 1985, the way it started out as weekly diwans in a community center where the Sangat, from the area would get together and they would pray and they would, build on this mission. They will bring langar from home and then set up the place in this rented hall. Finally, in 1990, GGSF modified an old house that was in this location itself and in this current property and started holding diwans here. That property could only have like 100 people that could fit in, but it was very cozy. And as I said, I remember coming from New York and we would visit here at that time. And then, the langar would be brought from home and served. With Waheguru's grace, it was in 2005, in October 5, 2005, when this building actually came to being and it was actually made. There were a number of people that were involved and they gave, pro bono service. I would like to say like 4 or 5 names that, that came to mind. Niranjan Singh Sami, the architect who provided service pro bono to design the building with the help of Sardar Bhupinder Singh Sohi, Sardar Anup Singh Babra, Sardar Hargurpreet Singh Ji, Sardar Chatar Singh Saini Ji, Sardar Surinder Singh Sukhchan Ji, and then this present building was completed. I know some of them are not with us, but some of them are here today, and I would actually urge if you could stand up, please, and share your fateh with the Sangat. Waheguru Ji ki fateh. Waheguru Ji Khalsa, Waheguru Fateh Ji. Thank you so much, Ji. The building of the Gurudwara became a major hub for Sikh-related programs. So some of them, this GGSF started service to the homeless in DC in 1986, where we would bring in langar to the homeless people. Again, to bring in the Sikh philanthropy, that is always been our mission, and it's been our core that we always do. But it did not stop there. After 9/11, we started doing more. And in 1987, we joined the Interfaith Council of Metropolitan Washington, representing the Sikh faith. And as we heard earlier, we were the first Sikh organization to join the Interfaith Council. Again, recognizing that we are all one, and we need to be having a dialogue together. In 1990. GGSF held the Sixth Statement on Environment for the United Nations. In 1988, it became GGSF, and not just for the other community, among our own Sikh community in the country, GGSF organized the first ever conference on Sikh Gurdwaras and Granthis in Washington with Akal Takht Jathedars to ponder upon the issues and challenges facing our community, and then discuss that. GGSF has been invited to multiple, to the White House, to multiple governmental agencies many times so that we could share the issues, that we are facing, the Sikhs in America are facing. It has always been at the forefront with other faith communities to fight against racism, gun violence, as well as environmental challenges, and including civil rights, and including, we have participated in anniversary celebrations for Dr. Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech as well. It has again been providing, and again, doesn't stop, with COVID, as you know, that there was a big shutdown, people lost their jobs, but GGSF did not want to abandon its mission, and we in fact started serving people with meals. And over the last, COVID is since, pandemic has gone, but then we are still serving meals, and it's been over 1 million meals that have been served to the, to the bigger Washington community, Washington DC community from this organization and from this building here. Besides that, we have also been pioneers in organizing health camps for the community. We have also run education programs, for our youth. And then, so the Gurudwara runs an active Sikh, spiritual school where over 125 children from the DC area, come in and they learn Sikh values, Sikh music, as you just heard today as well. And then besides that, we also have been doing a Gurmat camp. The Gurmat camp is a 7-day long program right here in Montgomery County, where not just kids from our area, they come from all over the country to attend and learn Sikh values. So again, through all these programs, GGSF has been a hub to strengthen the Sikh community itself, but also the larger community in this Washington, DC area. So we are hoping that this anniversary gives us, this occasion to celebrate and to recommit ourselves to the vision that this organization started, and we continue on that. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
We're very blessed to have Ani Mehr Hoya Guru Gobind Sahib Ji Di Te Waheguru Di. We're so happy to have the blessings of Akal Purkh Waheguru in everything that we do, and that we hope that we'll continue going forward many years to continue supporting the Sikh community here locally. We do have a few delegates, political delegates that have come and joined us to celebrate this, so we'll ask them to take just a few minutes to speak. We have from Senator Mark Van Hollen's office, we have Zarin, his representative. Now, the senator has been a longtime supporter of the Sikh community and immigrant communities. He's advocated for the Sikh community, including as far back as 2013, supporting the FBI to track hate crimes against the Sikh and other communities. Senator Van Hollen pressed the Trump administration in 2020 to help provide refugee protections to Sikh families that were leaving Afghanistan. So we all remember we had raised money for Sikh families that were fleeing Afghanistan. The senator was also supporting the Sikh community and pressing the government to help provide refugee status to those families. He was here in 2005 as well to support us as we were moving into this building. So we'll have Zarin come and just say a few words from Senator Mark Van Hollen's office.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Senator Chris Van Hollen, it is an honor to join the special 40th anniversary of the Guru Gobind Singh Foundation. For 4 decades, this place has provided service to the community and faith, welcoming people of all backgrounds and showcasing through action what it means to care for others. The Senator deeply appreciates your contributions to our state. I am proud to present this citation in recognition of 40 years of service. If someone from the foundation, okay, yeah. Thank you so much.
Sorry, I was getting a little nervous up here. I kept calling him Mark Van Hollen. He's Chris Van Hollen. I know that. So next we'll have Mr. Mark Ehrlich come and join us. Now, we have to welcome Mr. Ehrlich back because he's been the county executive since 2018, but he's been here before as well. So before that, he was serving on the county council, but he's been a supporter of the Sikh community for quite a long time. Dating all the way back to 2012, he was helping to support police presence after the Oak Creek attack. He's been a supporter of the Sikhs and the local police force, including those that are keeping their Sikh Sarup be a part of the police force. He's supported education of MCPS teachers as well on Sikhi and issues important to the Sikh students and families, so we really appreciate Mr. Ehrlich's support. Yes, absolutely.
It's okay. Everybody does that. I was telling her, my last name is Elrich, but
I'm really killing
it actually works for me because I get double introductions in a lot of places because they say it wrong, then they say it right. My favorite story is when I was running for council years ago. I didn't have much money because I never get money from certain people in the community, so I run low-budget campaigns. And somebody said, "We see your bumper stickers everywhere," and it was Governor Ehrlich, whose name was very closely spelled to mine, but not mine. And so I said, "Oh, yes." but people felt overwhelmingly I had these stickers out there. They didn't realize he was a Republican. I'm not. So it's one of those little interesting things that happens. Look, I'm really happy to be here today. Sat Sri Akal. And thank you so much for inviting me to come back. Your community is really important to Montgomery County. I remember coming here in the height of COVID and going down into the basement and looking at the feeding operation you had and meeting the chef who had a full-time job apparently as a chef and then was working all night to prepare the meals that were going to go out the next day to people in the community. And that kind of commitment to purpose is really important. I think one of the things about the Sikh religions and the Hindu religions, not all religions are the same. Some religions focus on the individual connection between a person and a deity. Some religions focus on a community well-being and the connection between people within the community and the work that you do with broader communities. And it's one of the things I appreciate about working with the Sikh community is you always understand that you're part of something bigger than yourself. And regardless of who you serve, you know the importance of serving people, whether they are of your faith or of another faith. We're all human beings. We share this space together. And we need to be able to stand with each other. And you all have been really willing to stand with us in Montgomery County. So I love the purpose-driven nature of what it is you do. Not only did you cook food, but you helped with, you have these summer camps you run for youth. I was here once for one of the environmental groups you had put together with young people. Your health clinics are really important during COVID. we relied on the community groups in Montgomery County to give people a sense of why they should get first tested and then vaccinated. And we found that as a government, we struggled to make connections with some communities because many people who come here fearing the government. And when the government says we're here to help you, not everybody believes that. And so we found that when we could rely on groups like the Sikh community and many of the other groups that stood up in Montgomery County, they gave us legitimacy and they were able to carry out work that we were trying to do. So we wound up providing more money to people to do the work that would normally be done by my HHS department, Health and Human Services. We let community groups do that work because we wanted the maximum input. They didn't need to see government faces. They needed food, they needed clothing. That became the most important thing, and you really helped us deal with that. I appreciate your work in bigotry and anti-racism globally because you face discrimination, we know that. And you've had some hard times in different parts of the country, harder. I think Montgomery County is an amazingly welcoming place. But you understand what you go through and you know what other people go through, and that kind of, I think, wisdom that comes out of that has been really important to us. To give you an idea, like how my day today kind of reflects on the things I'm talking about. I start here. I go from here to the Friendship Picnic that's being held in Wheaton Regional Park. And today we invite people from all different faiths and ethnic groups to come and meet each other and stand with each other. And when I'm done with that, I go to an Ethiopian event in downtown Silver Spring. My friends joke with me about how many different churches and different religious groups I meet with, because it's a lot of people. But you know, you really do play an important role in the fabric of Montgomery County. And I want to thank you for supporting the most vulnerable people we have in our county. I think you know this county is the most diverse religiously and ethnically in the country. And I tell people, you know, as a statistic, I think it says a lot about who we are. In 1970, and this county, by the way, had a very racist past. I'll go back to 1960. In 1960, when people were moving out of DC because they had integrated their schools, and God forbid you should go to school with a person of a different color, they came to Montgomery County. They were greeted by real estate agents who advertised, "We're still segregated." We had covenants on most property in Montgomery County saying you can't rent or sell property to a black or a Jew in Montgomery. That's 1960. 1967, the county outlaws the covenants. In 1970, this county is 95% white, 4.5% black, 0.5% everybody else. Today, Montgomery County is 16% Asian, 21% black, 22% Hispanic, and about 43% white. We've undergone a transformation that few communities have been able to do, and few communities have been able to do it as peacefully and in an encouraging way the way Montgomery County has done it. So you sit in a community that is unlike most other communities in the United States, and it's a place where we've made sure that everybody feels welcome and that you have a home here. I want to assure people that despite what the lunatic in Washington is saying and what the lunatic in Washington is doing, we're not those people. And whatever harm they try to do, we are going to try to stop at the border. There are things we do not have to comply with. We are not backing down from our efforts to integrate people in the community. We're not going to back down from aiding the homeless and the people in need. It bothers me immensely the people who claim they have Christian values say that it's okay to turn homeless people away from shelter. I got a letter from the president's people saying that because I'm the county executive, if I operate a homeless shelter, I can be arrested for harboring a criminal if an undocumented immigrant is in a homeless shelter. That is so un-American and so antithetical to even Judeo-Christian values that it is amazing people get away with saying that. But that's what we're dealing with right now. But Montgomery County is going to be Montgomery County. We're going to stand with our communities here. We're going to make sure we work together. And I look forward, to celebrating, this is your 40th year as an organization, 20 years in this facility. I know you have plans for things like you need parking. Hopefully we'll be able to help you with dealing with some of those issues, but we want to look forward to being able to celebrate with you going forward. So thank you for everything you've done for us. And I have a proclamation. because that's what we do. We travel with proclamations. And I will give this to you. You can hold one, and I'll read the other ones. They're the same. And it says, I award this certificate to the Guru Gobind Singh Foundation in recognition and appreciation of 40 years of dedicated service to Montgomery County, Maryland. You have been a pillar of compassion, leadership, and interfaith unity. Since 1985, you've advanced Sikh civic engagement, organized humanitarian aid, and promoted youth development through education, music, service, environmental care, and martial arts. Your commitment to civil rights, health outreach, and community service continues to uplift both the Sikh and the broader communities across the region. By serving, inspiring, and uniting, your mission has enriched the cultural fabric of our community, from serving families cooked and healthy meals bi-weekly to leading crucial community efforts during the COVID-19 pandemic to creating native forests to support the world's climate. We appreciate all the ways you make our county a better place. I extend my deepest appreciation and best wishes for your continued success in strengthening our shared future through service, understanding, and unity. Signed by me, September 14th. Thank you. And who else should I give this to?
I will take both.
You'll
As
take-
the chairwoman, yes, ma'am.
And the chairwoman is taking both of these. But thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ulrich. I appreciate your time and your focus on what's important to us. Next, we'll have Mr. Paul Montero join us. So he was a community engagement advisor with the Obama administration. He helped to celebrate Guru Nanak Dev Ji's 550th Gurpurb at the White House in 2009. He was very integral in that celebration. And now he's working as the Secretary of Department of Service and Civic Innovation with the Governor's Office with Governor Westmore. So we're happy to welcome you.
Sat Sri Akal. To Mr. County Executive Elric, good to see you. Dr. Siva, always a blessing to see you. To Rizwan, some of my old colleagues from working on interfaith issues back. When I first encountered GGSF in 2009, I had just started at the White House doing interfaith outreach. And Dr. Singh came up after the National Prayer Service, right after we inaugurated President Obama, to gently educate me. Not only that we had omitted acknowledging the Sikh faith in the National Prayer Service, but also to educate me broadly on all of the wonderful things and the history that this faith has added to the city, the county, the state, the country. 16 years I have been blessed to work with this community. And I don't want to assume too much, but I would imagine many of you in this space grew up in this religion since childhood. And I hope you take the 40th anniversary as a moment to hear, maybe from someone outside, to remind you of something you've known your entire life, but the admiration that many of us have for your faith and your tradition, and all that GGSF has given to this region, and hearing just the data points of what you've given back. For 16 years, I've been able to see the many ways you don't talk your values, you don't write your values, you live your values. People were hungry, you fed them. People were sick, you healed them. People need housing, you gave them shelter. People needed fill in the blank, you were there. Not to ask anything of them, but to give them and to serve them. And that is one of the most beautiful things that I've seen, and I've been blessed to work with traditions around the country for 5 years at the White House, and now in my current role with Governor Moore, that's one of the biggest reasons he needed to create a new Department of Service and Civic Innovation. And I've led that department since 2023 because I challenge people in this moment we're living in, where people are in their corners, always filtering, figuring out, are you someone I should be around? Depending on what you believe, where you live, how you worship, who you love, what color you are, how old you are, we find ways to separate, and now people are in their corners. Service is one of the last things left that brings people together before they start asking, should I be around you? Service is one of the last things left that people simply ask who's available to help meet this need. And so the stickiness of service that the governor talks about is why he's built a department around it, because otherwise people are almost looking at whether we should associate or whether we should be in community if we don't share the same worldview. And so on behalf of Governor Moore and Lieutenant Governor Miller and Secretary of State Susan Lee, to Dr. Singh, I thank you for 16 years of friendship. And to this community, I thank you for 40 years of giving back and making this state better because you were here. I know we're heading in, we are now in and heading into probably a difficult season where the voices of selfishness are getting louder and louder. Selfishness that point out who to blame for problems or who to point the finger at to explain everything away. And service, again, to me is the antidote to the selfishness that's happening here. So I just appreciate the chance to share. Sat Sri Akal. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Montero. I appreciate your words of support. The Sikh community gets our inspiration from our history, from our gurus that have taught us, and from the martyrs that have come before us in terms of the path that we live in our religion. We have just a couple of speakers left. We have Delegate Lily Hsu, who I'll welcome to the stage, part of the Maryland General Assembly, House of the Delegate for our district. She's been a Guru Gobind Singh Foundation several times, and we're happy to have her back. She's been very important to the Gurudwara's growth and expansion, including helping us get security grants to install and upgrade our security systems. She's also supported a large grant towards the Gurudwara's community service programs to help provide improved services to the surrounding community. So thank you, Delegate Hsu. We welcome you.
Thank you. This community is full of doctors. I'm not one of them, but proud to be representing this wonderful community, District 15, and also the Asian American community, our diverse Asian American communities in the Maryland General Assembly. Again, my name is Delegate Lily Hsu, and I serve in the House of Delegates. But more importantly, I consider myself part of the Asian American community and a part of your neighbor, because I live down the street off of Travella in the Stonebridgeville community. So I drive by this place all the time. And I know we're celebrating 40th anniversary, but I also remember the time when this place was built. It was right around the time I moved in, so I watched this building being built. And now, 2 decades later, I am so proud that you have accomplished so much way beyond this temple. So I want to share with you an interesting experience I had, which was in 2014, when I had the opportunity to work with previous county executive who led the delegation to visit India. And we actually visited Amritsar and the Golden Temple. And it's the kind of experience you will never forget. But while there, I remember saying to people of the delegation, I said, gee, people here really remind me of people back home in Montgomery County. I mean, seriously, this is who we are today, right? We have already seen plenty of people wearing turbines and head covering in Montgomery County. Nothing is surprising, you know. It's just like coming home to me, you know. But just because we have diversity does not mean we have a sense of community, right? It takes intentionality to build communities, and that is exactly what you have been doing, which is why I'm so proud to be your partner. My colleagues and I in the Maryland General Assembly have been working hard to make sure that you can amplify your spirit and your voices of reaching out to other communities in need, way beyond the South Asian community or your religious community. For all these years, you have been very intentional in facilitating interfaith dialogues, in facilitating youth development and civic engagement, but most importantly, in community service to uplift the people who have less than us. So you are the kind of quintessential American spirit that we need to celebrate, and you are the kind of quintessential immigrant spirit that we all need to embrace. So thank you for all you do. I'm very proud to present this citation on behalf of the Maryland General Assembly, which simply says, Be it hereby known to all that sincerest congratulations are offered to the Guru Gobind Singh Foundation in recognition of 40 years of service to the Sikh community and continued dedication to improving the lives of those in Montgomery County and beyond. Thank you for everything, and thank you for having me.
And then finally, we'll have Council Member Marilyn Balcom join us. She also came and joined us for the Hola Mohalla Festival a couple of months ago. She supported the Gurudwara in local needs, including security services, and she's always been ready to support the Gurudwara in any way that we feel that we need. So we appreciate it. Please welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so pleased to be here. I'm Marilyn Balcom. I represent the County Council, and you're in my district. And not only are we celebrating 40 years of GGSF, but the great fortune, my great fortune, that you built your building here on this side of Travilla, because this is in my district. On the other side of Travilla is Andrew Friedson. So I'm so very honored to represent you in the County Council. And I just want to say that every time that I've been here, the community has been so welcoming for me to come. Today I came early to share in your service, and it's always very welcoming. I always feel very comfortable when I walk in the door, and everyone is just, I feel a sense of belonging when I'm here, so I appreciate that every time that I come. And so I also want to thank you. 40 years is a long time, considering that the world has changed so much. 40 years ago, I'm sure that the community, I know that the community didn't look the way it looks today. And you were brave and you were courageous, and you knew that Montgomery County could be your home. And so I thank you for making Montgomery County your home. I thank you for building this wonderful space. But as many speakers have already said, I want to thank you for all you do outside of the Sikh community, to take care of your neighbors and taking care of people who are hungry and taking care of people in need. And we in the county, we can't do it all. We rely so heavily on our nonprofits and our religious communities, our faith-based communities, to help us in the work that we do. So I just, very short recognition to GGSF in recognition of your 40th anniversary, with appreciation for your charitable actions, community involvement, public service, and with the very best wishes for the next 40 years. Thank you.
So I'm going to ask each of our representatives to please come and join us. We're going to take a quick picture, as well as our board members. And we have a small token of appreciation. Mr. Ehrlich, please come join us.
To all the faith leaders also, we want to take a group picture. Can you come?
Appreciation. मैं इथे रख देनी है बाकी देख लेना कभी आ जाए